Okay, everyone, we are entering into our fourth match here with Curryvore's blue-white mid-range deck. We are currently 3-0 on the play yet again, so we will go ahead and play first. Okay, this hand is a bit forward drop and land heavy, obviously. Looks like it's potentially easy that we could get run over here, depending on what our opponent's playing. But in the blind, I guess we will keep this. It doesn't have a lot going on. You know what? We're gonna mulligan. So, because it looks like we really need early game interaction. We need a path. We need a counter of some sort. So this is modern after all. I don't think we can keep a hand that just doesn't do anything till turn 4. So. Okay, this hand is much worse, I think I would say, but we're gonna, I guess we'll keep it because we don't want to go down, more cards here. So the basic plains hurts with our mana base. I think we need to ship it and try and get a better land. So this is not a great start. I mean, the biggest sin of our opening hand was just that it was really slow. But at least the mana base. Okay, yeah, yuck. All right. So, well, there's a negate. So we'll name wizard here and hold up this negate, I guess. This is not the matchup we wanted to see. Okay, so they're going to have Tron next turn. And we are just not going to have anything going on. So, as of right now, we can't really tell what flavor of Tron they're on, so we're just going to hold up this negate and hope they go for a Karn, I guess, as strange as it sounds to actually say that out loud. Okay, Chromatic Star, not going to touch that. Okay, and it was the power plant that they fetched. So, alright, looks like a Worm Coil or an Eldrazi. Or they're still digging here. Maybe there's like a World Breaker or something. Ballista, maybe. Okay. Alright, so that's not horrendous. But unfortunately, alright, so if we play the D Sphere on the Walking Ballista, they can potentially jam whatever just their next threat in line is next turn. They still have 6 cards in hand. Alternatively, we can take 3 here. I guess we're going to risk doing. So we'll just hold up the negate and then flash in the Vendilion Clique. I mean, one way or another, we're basically going to be taking 6 from this. But if they land something that's bigger and badder than this, like an Ugin or a Karn, I think we just flat out lose. So we'll just pass the turn here, hold up the negate. So I'm not too afraid of this creature. So Sylvan Scrying. So they'll have some amount of mana left over here. So they're probably going to use this to get that land, I forget what it's called, that lets them tutor up another threat. If we had the Spell Snare, I would obviously fire it off in an instant here, but I think we'll let that resolve. And maybe hope we can draw like a Field of Ruin, something. Okay, so they're just going for more mana. Now, unfortunately, they will just get to shoot down our Clique. So we're going to add a counter, I guess, to this. All right. So let's see what they're working with over there. So we're gonna have an uphill battle here. Pulse of Marasa. So we have to take the Ulamog, because we just flat out lose to that. The Oblivion Stone is also a pain, but we do have a negate for that, so let's just put the Ulamog to the bottom. Okay. So let's see if we can get them to throw a bolt at our clique here. Okay. So that's one less. I guess that'll go to our face. And then whether we path now or then, will it make a big difference? I'm not sure. I guess we'll path on our opponent's upkeep. Yeah, we'll path on our opponent's upkeep and plan to negate the Oblivion Stone. They'll be able to lightning bolt us here in response if they want to do that. I guess with that in mind, it might have made more sense to just path it on our turn. I don't know. Walking Ballista is one of those slippery cards that they can just kind of fire off, you know, whenever they want and dodge around your stuff. Alright, so this is the O Stone. We're just going to snap negate it. Pulse of Marasa. Yep. So here comes the big baddie right back again. Alright, well, there's another land. So, if we Detention Sphere this... Alright, so we know they played... Pulse is gone, so they have a Sylvan Scrying left in hand. I think they played out the tower, a forest. So, if we put this down now, they can sneak the Oblivion Stone through. We can just hold up the Cryptic Command. Although this does represent 8 damage at this point, so I think we unfortunately pretty much need to interact with this now. Because this way, even if they do Oblivion Stone, it'll come back with 0 counters and it'll die. It's a state-based action. So yeah, they're going to go ahead and do their thing here. Alright, so we're hoping to dodge anything nastier than an O-Stone for a turn here. Okay, Sylvan Scrying. They do still have 9 mana at their disposal. Or sorry, 8 mana at their disposal. Oh, plus 1 in their pool, plus that. So yeah, they got a ton of mana. Scrying into Scrying. Played the Forest. Okay, so they get a Ghost Quarter. It's not particularly threatening. Well, that path would have been nice last turn, but since there is nothing under our Detention Sphere, we do have a potential play where we can bounce our own D-Sphere with the Cryptic Command. Alright, so we're going to counter this, and do we want to draw a card or do we want to return the Detention Sphere to our hand? I think we want to draw, because we really want to hit land drops, I think, so. But I do think that this game, as of right now where it's at, is kind of an uphill battle. Alright, that is a land. at least pre-board, I think we just have so many dead draws. Yep, they can have that. Again, this negate here is earmarked for a planeswalker, basically, or an additional Oblivion Stone, something of that nature. Sanctum Oblivion, that's the card I'm thinking of, and it's what, whenever you cast. Yep. Okay. So we don't really have a plan to get this off of the battlefield right now. So I don't think I want to just throw the Clique away. I'll put that on the bottom, I think. Yeah, I'm going to bottom that. Okay, draw into a Colonnade. So we are going to have to start doing something here very soon. But I think we're probably just dead. Yep, I think that'll do it. Hooray for on-cast triggers. We'll just go to the next game. Negate seems good, Disdainful Stroke seems good. It's probably a game for our one of Stony Silence. I'm going to get rid of all of the sweepers. I'm going to cut the Wall of Omens too, I think. They just don't do anything. Cataclysmic Gearhulk is an interesting consideration, but it probably just doesn't do enough. We'll bring in our one of Stony Silence. Creature cards. When they're on the battlefield, have flash. I don't think Teferi really does a whole lot here either. But maybe he's just... I guess his creatures you don't own on the battlefield have flash is kind of interesting. Can maybe help us play around some stuff if he can even stick around long enough to really do anything. Dispel Snare is kind of dead. But again, I'm really not sure what to even bring in over some of these cards. Like the Mana Leak's not great either. Maybe we just want more threats. I don't know. Alright, I guess we'll submit like this. Yes. So we have our Stony Silence, but we have no guarantee of drawing another land. And sometimes this doesn't even stop them from winning. So we're going to mulligan this. We need some lands. Okay. That's an alright hand, I guess. We're going to put that on the bottom. Looking for some interaction. But again, these blue-white decks definitely struggle a bit with this matchup. I know it's gotten a lot better with Field of Ruin and things like that, but it's still just not good. I mean, they go way over the top of what we're doing, and their threats are really difficult to deal with. So ideally we get a negate here, not a negate, but that Spell Snare could line up here. So I'm actually really glad that we drew this now instead of later, because if it's going to get used, this is probably going to be the best place to have it. So looks like they might be going for a Sylvan Scrying here, although it could also be a Ancient, yeah, so, okay. Power Plant. So that's too bad. Okay, so they have Tron. Snapcaster. Okay, so they have Tron. They can... And we have no way to really interact with it right here, so I think we're just going to jam the Finks. Just try and start getting a very anemic clock on them. I don't think our Spell Snare is likely to interact with them here. but we're not in a good spot. Maybe that hand was also a mulligan. Like if this is just like a Karn. Yeah, okay. So we can take care of this, but then I'm sure they bring in some number of Nature's Claims and all that, and we don't even get our Finks back, so we're just so far behind at this point. They have a full grip of 7 cards, and they can make 1,000,000 mana every turn, Sizzlo it, just like card number 2. Yep, and they tutor up something else. So yeah, this game is effectively over. But we'll just play it out a little bit here. It's a shame. We were on a really good roll there, but just get their other card back, then make us exile a card. Seems good. Oh, they're just gonna go after our lands. Okay. Yep, this game's over. We'll play out a couple more draw steps just to get our money's worth, I guess, and then we'll probably just concede. Exile this Spell Snare. Worm Coil, okay. Well, we have an answer for that at least. So looking back to the decisions we actually did get to make this game, I really can't find a way to justify keeping that first hand, because again, I've played... I wanted to flash in the snap there, I forgot. I really couldn't justify keeping that first hand with the 1 land, because again, especially since they just practically had natural Tron, and the fact that Ancient Stirrings is basically a demonic tutor for the decks that get to run it. Let's get a card from our hand. I don't even know. Guess we'll exile this lady here. Maybe if we get lucky, our opponent will restart the game. It's just a World Breaker. Gets to blow up one of our lands. But yeah, we just can't contend with what they're doing here. This deck is so resilient that it's a crapshoot of a matchup. Again, it has gotten a bit better, but it's still not great. Again, game 1, we kept a hand that was reasonable enough, I think, against most decks, but Modern is just such a wide and wacky format that you can never be prepared for everything, which in my opinion is how it should be, to be fair. You know, I don't feel like anyone should get to play a deck that just steamrolls everybody else. And so this is just the concession you have to make to playing a deck like blue-white. And there are definitely draws that we can have with this deck that can beat Tron, but we just unfortunately did not get any of them. I guess one of the things I am still learning, and one of the skills I'm really still honing, which I think personally is one of the more difficult skills to really get a good handle on in Magic, is the art of the mulligan. And so we can even look back over this game, you know, and the hand that we just did decide to keep still wasn't that strong. We probably should have went until we found something that actually interacted with our opponent. You know, like I think we needed a negate. We needed something. So that's just how it goes in this matchup, I think, and I think that's one of the biggest lessons I have to learn. So there you go. Blue-white midrange versus mono-green Tron. Our first loss, and it was just kind of a shame, but that's Modern. So we'll get into the 5th game here and see what we can do. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll keep trucking along here. Thanks.